on our YouTube and Facebook. Good to have you guys with us as we continue the show. Just got through talking to Matthew Valere of the Hardwood Club. Now let's talk about the teams that benefit from the Hardwood Club, and one of the coaches is leading the team that is rocking and rolling right now. That's Coach Carlos Funchess, Southern University head women's basketball coach. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How are you doing?
Doing
Hope
good,
all
man.
is
Anytime.
well.
Good. Anytime to talk to you, man. I know. I told Mike when he got through, when he hung up and was talking to you, I said, man, that dude is cool as I don't know what, man. That's a good guy right there, man. So I appreciate you. Busy schedule this week, but making time to come on and talk to myself as well as the Jaguar Nation and the haters. There's some haters out there too, Coach, you know. And I saw some of those haters when we played Texas Southern last week because they tried to bring a group of people in and say, hey, we're not going to just let you guys have home court advantage. But as we get ready to rock and roll last week on Thursday in a tough game, you guys took on at the time undefeated Texas Southern. They came into the F.G. Clark Activity Center 10-0, and guess what? They walked out 10-1, 63-53. Southern University women's basketball get the victory. And as I'm listening to their announcer on the sideline, I'm talking a little noise, and he's telling their fans on air, well, it's nothing to drop confetti about. I said, all right. Whatever the case may be, that sounds like something losers would say, because if I had won, we're dropping confetti, right? And then and then on Saturday, you take on Prairie View, Sandy Pugh, your former boss, former coach here at Southern. You get a big one over her, 86-42. But let's look at that recap of the weekend. 63-53 over Texas Southern and 86-42 over Prairie View. Coach, what did you learn about your team holding it down at home, and most importantly, handing Texas Southern their first loss and being able to fight for that first place spot in the SWAC?
Well, you just said it right there, just fighting for that first place spot. You had to get a victory. So the girls came out, they delivered. They were solid defensively. We made enough plays on the offensive side of the basketball to get a win. You know, that's been our biggest Achilles heel, is just scoring consistently. And, you know, that's something we've been working on. We've been getting good shots. We're executing a lot better, but we just got to knock down some of those shots. And defensively, we've been pretty solid the entire season. So, you know, we just continue to build on those things.
Let's look at the SWAC women's standings right now, started at the bottom for our listeners out there. UAPB, the Golden Lions, 1-13 in conference play. They're 11 games out of first place. Mississippi Valley at 3-11, 9 games out of first place. Both Alabama State and Prairie View, 8 games out of first place with a conference record of 4-10. You look at Florida A&M, 7 games out of first place at 5-9. Bethune-Cookman, 6-8 on the season in conference play thus far, 6 games out of first place. Alcorn State, who came in and snuck one on us, Coach, 6-7 on the season. They're 5.5 games out of first place. Today's opponent, the Grambling State Tigers, 8-5 on the women's side, 3.5 games out of first place. And then you got a couple teams when they start to get, as they say, the thick of things. You got a victory on the road against Coach Don Thornton, whose team at Alabama A&M is 11-3 in conference play. They're 1 game out of first place. And then you and Jackson State both tied at 11-2, half a game out of first place. And then Texas Southern, because they have 1 more win than everybody currently at 12-2. But things are heating up between A&M, Jackson State, Southern, and Texas Southern, but you can't count everybody else down because, as I said, Alcorn snuck us with 1, and Grambling is still a tough team because they got a victory over Texas Southern on Saturday last week.
Well, I mean, each and every night your opponent going to bring different things that they do very well that you have to be able to negate. So that's the stuff we work on, just being solid both at home and on the road and being consistent. One thing about Grambling, they're going to rebound that basketball, so we're going to have to do a good job boxing out and hitting those boards today and hopefully knock down a few shots and be solid again defensively. But everybody's jockeying for position right now. Anybody can beat you any given night, so you have to be ready to play.
In that first game, Southern and Grambling here in Baton Rouge, you guys get the victory 59-53 in a tough one. You shot 23 of 59 for 39%, 5 of 12 from the three-point line, shooting 41%, and 8 of 14 from the free throw line, shooting 57%. On the other side for Grambling, they shot 20 of 52 for 38%. They were 1 of 8 from the three-point line, shooting 12%, and 12 of 19 from the free throw line, shooting 63%. As your team now on the backside, now having to go on the road, and we know that's a hostile environment. What do you want to see your team improve on this second half or this back end of the season, Coach?
Well, just come out and stay consistent defensively. That's first of all. Rebounding the basketball. We're going to have to do a better job of rebounding and knocking down open shots. I think we're doing a better job executing on both ends of the court, especially offensively, and getting some good looks. And we know what we're looking for. We're not just running plays. So, we just need to continue to improve each and every game and hopefully be hot by the time we hit that tournament.
Young ladies who are surprising you thus far in the season, somebody who may have stepped up and you like, look, all right, I didn't see this one coming, but you balling.
Jocelyn Tate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't say I didn't see it coming because I knew she was going to be a really, really good player. And Sanaya Reed, she's been very consistent coming down the stretch, giving us some point production coming off the bench. Sky Castro, it doesn't show on the stat sheet every night, but defensively, she's been one of the better players in this league. And she knows what she's doing, and she's an anchor defensively for us. Tiana Lidge has been doing a good job guarding her position and rebounding the basketball. So, we've been having some pretty consistent play down this back stretch.
Exciting, too. I enjoyed that game against Texas Southern. I really did, man. That was exciting. And that's the level of basketball. That's high-energy basketball. That's what you look for when they move the games to a Thursday night, that type of matchup, Southern versus Texas Southern with a lot on the line. And that's what excited me about that. There's going to be a lot on the line today, pride and so much more against Grambling. What do you see about Grambling this second time around?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the depth. They have quality depth. I mean, they can go 12 deep, and it's not a big drop-off when they go to the bench. And they're going to play hard. They're going to be well coached on both sides of the basketball, and they're going to come to play. They play extremely hard, and like you say, this is a game you can throw the records out the window and everything else. It's going to be a battle. It's a battle for pride.
Battle for pride. Coach Funchess, man, I appreciate you for taking the time, coming on, talking to us as we continue to keep up with you this season and the team, man. This is tremendous what you guys are doing right there, knocking on the door of first place. Overall, the Jaguars in North Louisiana today, Southern men and women basketball at Grambling, Southern softball over at Monroe at ULM. Coach, thank you for coming on. Good luck to you guys and beat those Tigers.
Fair, we appreciate it as usual, and go Jags.
Go Jags. That's the voice of Coach Carlos Funchess, Southern University head women's basketball coach.